Week 7 is here, Broncos and Saints. Let's talk some football. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're back, baby. That's right. After a couple-day hiatus, we're back, and it's Week 7 already. I cannot believe it. We got a beauty of a game to talk about for Thursday Night Football. We'll get to that in a bit, but we have a huge night on the channel. We are going to be releasing 3 videos. This one, the MLB Best Bets video for Thursday, and then also the NHL Best Bets video for Thursday's slate. So be sure to go check out all those videos, and thanks for the patience on those NHL videos. Still working through the kinks on the first month of that and trying to get them out as consistent as possible, but we'll get there. Now, before we get going, we got to shout out a new Jabo MVP. There it is. Thank you to Joe Tomexic 5504. Sorry if I mispronounced that. We really appreciate the support. If you want to become a Jabo MVP, just click that join button under the video. It's only $2.99 a month. Everything we do here is for free. Discord here. So if you guys just want to give back, we give you any entertainment, any value with your betting. We appreciate it. Again, never required, but always appreciated. So any graphics you see in this video, of course, will be from an app called OUTLIER. All you gotta do is click that link below. You get a 7-day free trial. You get nothing to lose. Just go try it out. It's a one-stop shop for all your betting research. You guys know if I wasn't partners with them, it doesn't mean I'm going to stop using them. They have helped me immensely. We've gotten a lot of people set up with OUTLIER so far, and I've heard nothing but great things. So go check that one out. But I'm ready to get into it, and that means it's time for the NFL Fun Fact. Here we go. This is a current season one. Only one team in the NFL has not scored 20 points in a game this season. Can you guess it? The Cleveland Browns. That's right, the Mariners of the NFL. After Deshaun Watson signs a 5-year, $230 million, every penny was guaranteed, guys. $230 million guaranteed. Has to go down as maybe the worst contract in sports history. Leave another one. There's a lot of them out there in the comments below if you want, but just unbelievable. $230 million to a guy who just can't do anything. It's just brutal. But in this video, we're going to recap Monday Night Football, those 2 unders we had, and boy, did we have a tough break. But you know what? You move on. We'll go over those 2 bets, though, and then we'll preview and give our best bets. I got 2 of them for you for the Broncos and Saints on Thursday Night Football, and we'll wrap it up with that recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below. Help this channel grow. Help the algorithm. And if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We are so close to hitting 30,000 subscribers. You guys are awesome. It's been a great couple years on the channel, and let's keep it rolling. So I'm ready to get started, and that means it's recap time. All right, this was brutal. It was a wild Monday Night Football game with a ton of points and a ton of offense in the first half, but this bet number 1 is one of the worst beats I've taken all season long, and everyone's going to have a few of those. Aaron Rodgers, longest completion under 32.5 yards. Hail freaking Mary full of grace. That's right, a first half, right before halftime, Aaron Rodgers special, where the defense doesn't know what they're doing, and they let Allen Lazard catch a Hail Mary pass in the end zone. Just brutal. Josh Allen under 205.5. I don't know what the Jets defense was doing. They slowed them down a little in the second half, but the first half, they had no clue what was going on. They were the #1 pass defense going into that game. It was just a bad read by my part. Josh Allen went over that one. I'll take that L, but that first one was hard to take, that's for sure. But season record 50-46, up 2.41 units. I want more. That's not enough. But of course, if you want the full breakdown, every Sunday night video is a recap of the entire weekend, and we break down player props, game bets, touchdowns, all that kind of stuff. So that is the recap, and now it's time for Thursday Night Football. All right, we head out to New Orleans where the Saints host the Denver Broncos for Thursday Night Football. Broncos -3 total in this game, a whopping 37 points. This is the Sean Payton revenge game. I don't know. I made that up. Whatever. It's against his old team, obviously, that he's with forever. Saints coming in on a 4-game losing streak. Do you remember when we all thought the Saints were unbelievable at 2-0? It has been ugly. They just gave up 51 points to the Buccaneers in their loss last week. Broncos just had their 3-game winning streak snapped by the LA Chargers. Broncos 4-2 ATS this season. Saints 3-3 against the spread. Injuries. Holy smokes. This is why it's an ugly game, guys. The Saints are going to be out their #1 and #2 receivers. Chris Olave out with a concussion. Rashid Shaheed out with a knee. It's going to be brutal with a rookie quarterback because Derek Carr is still out. Alvin Kamara questionable. I think he's going to play. My goodness, they need him to play because Taysom Hill also doubtful. Cesar Ruiz, offensive lineman, questionable. It's just brutal on the offensive side of the ball for the Saints. Broncos. Patrick Surtain is looking doubtful. One of the top corners in the entire NFL. If there's a game for him to miss, this isn't a bad one. And then tackle Palczewski, I think you pronounce it, is questionable. Offensive tackle Mike McGlinchey, who I don't believe has played all year. Actually, he may return from the IR to play this game. Either way, that's all I'm going to say about this game. You guys don't want to hear more. I got two best bets, even if it's an ugly one. Let's get two winners. The first one, Bo freaking Nix over 191.5 passing yards at minus 113 on FanDuel. Again, like I do with all these primetime games, I go half unit on two bets. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to be completely transparent and honest with you guys because this is about me helping you. I was so close. In fact, I even did the write-up for Devon Vele, the receiver for the Broncos, to go over 30.5 receiving yards. I also like Sutton. I also like Tim Patrick receiving yards over, and that's what led me to just saying, why would you pick one of the receivers when you can just take the quarterback? Because I think he's going to have a good game. So that's how I ended up here. But I love Vele over 30.5 receiving yards too. If I switch and it loses, it is what it is. But that's why I want to just tell you guys. So that's how it is. But let's jump into this one, into Outlier, of course, with Mr. Bo Nix. So here we go. If you go to 2024 right there, you will see he is over this in 4 of the 6 starts. The 2 misses. Let's talk about that. In Seattle, his NFL debut, guys. That's tough to do. No matter what. In Seattle's a tough spot to play, and it's his debut. And then the second one where he was way under, I mean, he threw 60. I'm pretty sure I could do 60. But it was against a top 3 pass defense in the Jets in the rain. You guys remember that game. It was a 10-9, ugly, ugly game. Other than that, he has 4 overs of 206 yards or more. He is looking more comfortable out there, as you can see. And then let's go over there and look at the matchup. Passing yards allowed. It doesn't get much better. I'm going to be honest. Saints 29th in the league in passing yards allowed. An absolute excellent matchup here as well. So now 5 of the top 6 quarterbacks to face the Saints have gone over this line. That's right. The only miss was the future car salesman himself, Mr. Bryce Young. Now, 4 quarterbacks had 293 or more passing yards against the Saints. Mahomes, I know. Listen, you're going to hear these names and go, they're way better than Knicks. I get it. I only need 192, though, and you're going to see what these guys did to them compared to other opponents. Mahomes had 331 passing yards, the best game of his season. Baker Mayfield, 325, the second best game of his season. Jalen Hurts, 311, the best game of the year, highest yardage mark for him. Dak Prescott, 293, third best game of the year. So you were seeing these guys have their highest totals or close to their highest totals when they played the New Orleans Saints. So they've been averaging, and quarterback pressures the Saints have. I think Nix has a good game here. Not great, but I think he has a good game. I think he gets to 200 yards plus. You could even maybe ladder this to 225. We're getting perfect conditions in a dome versus a very weak pass defense. Give me Bo Nix. Mr. Bojangles, over 191.5 pass yards as my first best bet. And now my second one. We're going to the other side. That's right. We're going Mr. Jawan Johnson, over 25.5 receiving yards at minus 120 on BetMGM. This is a half unit play. I see 26.5 on some books. I have absolutely no problem there. I think he gets 30 plus yards here in this one. But for this, let's hop into Outlier as well and check out some of the numbers here. So there's Johnson. With injuries and also just lack of involvement earlier in the year, it wasn't pretty. He did go over this in the first week, barely, but the last 2 weeks is what I like to see. They've been getting the ball more. He's been a bigger part of this offense, but over his last 2 games, or as you saw last week. So let's just talk about that one, because that was with Spencer Rattler. So the only time he has played with this rookie quarterback is when he had his best game. 3 catches, 48 receiving yards, averaging 16 yards a catch, hash brown math. And now he should get even more targets. Like we said, Olave and Shaheed are both out. That is the number 1 and number 2 wide receivers. It doesn't mean he just becomes the number 1 pass catcher, but it just is what it is. As you guys can see right there by the target share, if you you lose those 2 guys, that's going to be absolutely huge. That's 41.7% of the target share combined. I expect Jawan Johnson and some of those guys below him to get many more targets. But let's go look at the matchup now. And as you can see over there on the right, I mean, you're taking on a Denver team, which you think, okay, this is going to be risky because they're a good pass defense. Yes, I say it all the time. But when it comes to tight ends, they're only 17th in receiving yards allowed. So I don't think it's that bad of a matchup at all. They've given up some numbers. And speaking of some numbers, I actually, other than the fact that I love it with a rookie quarterback, it's a safety blanket for Rattler. I think it's going to be Kamara and him in the passing game most of the time. But tight ends versus Denver this season, Will Dissly had 26. So right on the dot, he got it. Brock Bowers, 97 yards. That was without Devontae Adams. So they only really had one guy to focus on, and they couldn't stop him. Cade Otton, that's right. Gotta love Mr. Cade. 7 catches, 47 receiving yards. Pat Freiermuth, 4 catches, 39 yards. 4 tight ends have gone over this line. Johnson is going to be one of the main targets for Radler, or at least a decent target. So I like him to go over this for a third straight game. I think this line is too low, especially missing the number 1 and number 2 receivers. So those are my two best bets. Mr. Bojangles over 191.5 passing yards and Jawan Johnson over 25.5 receiving yards. Let's start out week 7 with a nice 2-0 sweep. But before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. Bo Nix over 191.5 pass yards at minus 113 on FanDuel. Jawan Johnson over 25.5 receiving yards, minus 120 on BetMGM. If all you can get is 26.5, I don't mind that at all. I think he has a chance to get 30, 35 plus yards easy in this one. So those are both half unit plays. Let's start off with some winners. Again, if you haven't already, hit that like button and go check out our other videos that are out now also. So thanks again. I appreciate the support. Hope everyone has a great Thursday, and we'll talk to you soon.